Good morning, good evening, everyone. This is Luda Kopikina with GAI Insights. Welcome to Daily AI News, where we rate articles essential, important, and optional. The articles are at gaiinsights.com/articles. And please follow along and let us know whether you agree or disagree with our ratings. Today, I have Ankaj and Paul from our regular crew, and Christopher Brook, who is, welcome Chris, who is the founder of Primary Hosting and now Quantum Proof. We are very much looking forward to your comments, Chris. You usually have a lot of things to add. Okay, let's go to the first article, please.
Sure, thanks, Luda. So the first one that we have for today comes from 11 Labs, and they have introduced agent workflows.
Yes, we will be reviewing a number of articles today that are about agent workflows or agent development platforms and the like. So this is from 11 Labs, and as you can see, you could put together a visual representation of the workflows and orchestrate them much easier than previously. And there are other mechanisms that 11 Labs provides to make them easier to deploy. I actually wasn't blown away by this article and rated it as optional. Might go into important, but just would love to hear what you thought. Chris, what did you think?
I think that there's a lot of AI workflow builders coming out. Obviously, the OpenAI announcement earlier this week was probably more important and probably a layer that enabled 11 Labs to move into this direction pretty quick. So I think it's definitely optional, but I do think the key point is that AI workflows are here and you're going to find them across a lot of different systems.
Thanks, Chris. What did you think, Ankaj? You might be on mute.
Yeah, sorry, Luda. I think optional, Luda, I agree with Chris. I think the OpenAI announcement was a bigger announcement. And while this is related to voice agents, I'm not sure how many people will be excited with this particular development. So optional for me.
Okay, Paul, we're going optional on this one.
Yeah, definitely optional product announcement. I mean, the challenge with enterprise is that everyone and their brother now has a workflow. So you got companies that try and do workflows across apps. You got companies like Glean and others and Writer who are doing workflow within their apps. So there's a lot of confusion out there for CIOs and IT teams to support the kind of citizen coding, vibe coding that's going on out there, but still have enough workflow that stays within compliance. But this is definitely optional product announcement.
Yeah. Okay, optional it is. Let's proceed to the next one. Ankaj, please.
So the next one that we have for today comes from Anthropic, and it is titled Petri, an open source auditing tool to accelerate AI safety research.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. And Chris, you are in that space. What did you think?
So for me, I think Anthropic's always been one of the leading foundation models that cared about alignment. That's probably why they broke away from OpenAI originally and started Anthropic. So I know that human alignment, AI alignment was very important to them. This seems like one of the slew of research solutions that they're putting out or white papers are putting out. This is actually a software that enables you to sort of inspect the behavior on your AI agent as an AI foundational models across the board. I've heard the term like AI drift. When you see a new model come out, how does that AI react when they launch? It's almost like a new software launch. So the AIs act not unpredictably, but definitely maybe there's an alignment problem. So this Petri is a way to literally test your foundation models to see if you can see any issue that may impact that alignment, whether it's getting too congratulatory on your brilliance. Maybe that's not something you want your AI model to do. Maybe you want it to stay in alignment with certain tonality, outlook, and perspective. And this tool is supposed to assist us in an open source way, understand how our foundation models or our AI models are working. I think it's an important concept. I don't know how many people would actually start using an open source auditing mechanism, especially right now, unless you're pretty deep into launching multiple AI models and you care that much about being able to switch models. So I would sort of think the concept is important, but the article is optional.
Interesting. Okay. Important from Chris. What did you think, Paul?
Yeah, it's a definitely important trend. This is research. I mean, I think the exciting thing is that we're starting to see in the research side some ability to start figuring out and measuring deception and, over congratulations specifically and others for these tools here, but definitely optional for the AI data. I mean, right now they need to figure out does the veracity output match what the requirements are? And that's a lot of work.
I actually was on the essential side. Let me make a case on that. So we have been hearing a lot of advances on evals, and this is step in the right direction, right? It's in many cases they built, for example, on OpenAI, and as the models go from 3.5 to 4 to 4.1 to 5, right? It's underlying changes you can't catch all of the edge cases and how they perform. This provides a tool where you could actually ask questions around the edges and see how the model performs versus what you had before. Or you can automate your edge cases and feed it to this model that will be much faster. So I think that this is a necessary piece, required piece in our ammunition as we proceed forward. To test the models as they progress, from like whether they lose functionality, they add this things to it. So I was on essential.
Well, Lou, it'd be great to see what our audience is thinking. Ashish or Brenda or others.
Guys, what do you think? Ankash, what did you think?
Luda, I'm with you on this one. So explainability is essential in any of enterprise workflows, right? And we have seen this from some of the vendors that we have been working with. They have been including these features in their platforms. I think having an open source alternative which everybody can use is really important. So an essential development from Anthropic here.
Okay, Valda, Ashish is voting essential. Valda, Nina, what do you guys think? All right. So we have Ashish's vote that I actually siding with us. So we'll go essential for this. Overruling Chris and Paul. Okay, guys?
Love it, Luda.
Okay. Chris, you were mute when you were speaking.
Oh, I'm still on the fence. I've seen some product companies out there that I think this you hear the OpenAI built a solution that killed my startup. Well, this kills some startups out there that were in that AI drift space, but there were some people out there doing it. I think it is an important concept. I still don't know if I see anybody in the enterprise launching this today to start training their models and understanding how they're behaving. But we'll see. But if Ashish and Luda are on for essential, I'll stay in important. It won't be optional.
Okay, so we have a dissent here. We'll go. See, it's from Anthropic. Chris, a little bit of history. We debated MCP when it just came out, and we rated it as important rather than essential. We were going, this is really needed, right? I was an essential trend, and we rated it as important. Look at it now, right? This is, in my view, another piece of the puzzle that Anthropic is a little bit ahead of the market, putting it something that is critically needed and people will embrace it. That's my projection. We'll see what happens. But since I have a chalk, essential. Let's proceed, Ankash.
Sure, Luda. So the next one comes from AWS, and it is a case study about responsible AI, how PowerSchool safeguards millions of students with AI-powered content filtering using Amazon SageMaker AI.
Great, Ankash. Could you please review this use case for us, summarize, and let us know what you think?
Sure, Luda. So basically, what PowerSchool has done here is they have built a custom filtering system for their AI assistant called PowerBuddy, and they have done it to keep it safe for their K-12 students. They have fine-tuned a Llama 3.1 8 billion parameter model using Amazon SageMaker AI, and they have done auto-scaling inference and continuous feedback loops on that, and they have been able to achieve 93% accuracy in internal testing. So I think it's a neat example of how you can use an open source model like Llama 3.1 and Amazon SageMaker to create a content filtering system. I think it will be content filtering is important for enterprises as well as educational institutions. So I was important on this one, Luda.
Thank you, Ankash. Chris, what did you think?
I think it's an important breakthrough in the education side. They have an enormous reach in our school system. So an important development about putting safe, explainable AI in our schools.
And I think they wouldn't be able to go and scale up so fast and well without it, really. It was a fundamental piece, I think, in their solution. Paul, what did you think? We're going important here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important for the education space. Everyday miracles are everywhere. These are good use cases. I thought it was very optional for 99% of the AI leaders. They're not looking for this type of refinement in the requirements typically.
Ankash, what did you think? Paul is going optional, thinking that this doesn't generalize to other places.
No, Paul, I think it translates really well to any enterprise who is looking to make sure that their employees do not have access to content that they don't want to, right? So, from an enterprise regulatory perspective, maybe financial services or even life sciences or healthcare as well, this is important from the perspective what they can feed into the models and what comes out of the models, right?
Paul, convinced?
I'll support the group here.
Okay. All right.
Most people I talk with, they're just trying to get their first thing up, and anyway, it's. I think again, we just see capabilities so far ahead of where most of the deployments are.
Yeah, no, that is true, but it is an important content management area that I think. I mean, if when they're putting their applications together, this is a piece of it. This is a part of it. All right, so it's probably essential for schools and the like, but important. We'll rate it important. Let's proceed to the next one. Ankash, please.
Sure, Luda. The next one, again, a case study, this time from Anthropic, and it highlights how JetBrains pioneers multi-agent ID experience with Claude Agent.
Yeah, I think it's a very light case. It talks about how JetBrains using Claude, but doesn't give any insight into how they did it or what the results they've achieved. So I rated it as optional. Yeah. What did you think, Chris?
I would go with optional as well. I think that Claude needs to be in the agent conversation, and obviously Google with their Gemini, and you see OpenAI, even see some other models in the open source realm that are in that networked AI agent space, even the Nanda project coming out of MIT. So I think Claude is just putting it out there that don't forget them in the agent space, but an optional use case at this point.
Yeah. So I kind of didn't quite state what the news was about. So in the news was that they integrated this agent development platform within JetBrains, and so you could now access the building of agent through this new addition very seamlessly. So it's just a very good integration capability. But again, no results cited. Ankash, what did you think?
Optional, Luda. I think it's more of a product announcement that they have included Claude Agent in their IDE.
Yeah. Okay. Optional it is. Let's proceed to the next one.
Sure, Luda. So the next one comes from Boston Consulting Group, and it is titled GenAI Promised a Creative Revolution. Can Marketers Deliver?
Yeah, this is on the survey of 200 plus marketeers. Provide some insights. What did you think about those insights, Chris? You're on mute.
On my end, I just believe that this was a pretty typical consulting sort of survey that they provided, asking marketing in the sort of the enterprise and business space how they're utilizing generative AI right now. They have some nice graphics. I think that there's still a lot of hesitation in the marketing space, because some of these tools that are really effective on generative AI sometimes are like $50 a month, maybe less. But most of the companies are not going outside of the foundational models. Maybe their enterprise, it's a little bit too difficult to get a one-off solution, and they don't put their own money in to try a different marketing model. So I think there's a little bit of hesitation on some of the cooler aspects. One of the lowest in the graph you're showing is that video is like an afterthought, like 0 people thought about using it. But after seeing Sora this week, Sora 2, it's going to happen at a massive scale, and you're going to start seeing it on the TikTok side of the house and the real side of the house before you see it at the enterprise, is what I'm seeing here. But I would say it's an interesting article. I think it's always good to see survey and results, but I think it's going to dissuade a lot of people to move away from adopting marketing AI, which I think that's totally addressable with many of the AIs out there. So I would say it's optional, but I could easily be persuaded. And obviously, I'm very strong on the idea of utilizing AI in marketing.
Okay, so maybe important, huh? You're a tough rater today. Okay, so what did you think, Paul? Oh, Paul, we lost Paul. Okay, Ankash, what did you think?
Optional for me, Luda. I don't think it has much sort of insights for an AI leader.
I was more on the important side. We talk about, Chris, we talk about forwardability of an article, right? So this one scores reasonably high on how many times you will forward to leaders, and especially marketing leaders. There's some tidbits here that are actually potentially important of what marketeers are currently using, where they think they will be using, as like a regular consulting piece. So I was on the border between optional and important, but since both of you were optional, let's go optional on this one. Okay, optional it is. Let's proceed to the next one.
Sure, Luda. So the last one that we have for today comes from VentureBeat, and it is titled IBM Claims 45% Productivity Gains with Project Bob. It's multimodal ID that orchestrates LLMs with full repository context.
Yeah, this is a push again from IBM into agents. They introduced Project Bob that they didn't open widely, and that is the sort of the multi-agent layer orchestration tool in natural language. it sounds like focused on coding, and the whole angle here is of this whole platform is to govern the agents in production. So they tied it with a Langflow that is open source and the watsonx Orchestrate agent development platform. And they say that 60K developers used it, and 45% saw the 45% productivity gain. So this is pretty powerful. It's but it sounds like it's only in the IBM environment, and so limited in that sense. I was between optional and important, and would like to hear what you guys thought. Chris?
I think we're moving definitely into the world of agentic workflows, and IBM is definitely in the enterprise realm. I think it's more like a marketing announcement to the enterprise saying that you should dip your toe into this agentic AI, and IBM's the place to do it. And we're working with Anthropic and other models and our own proprietary tools to bring that to the enterprise. I think it's an important offering, and it's probably going to be what happens in 2026 for the enterprise that they start adopting agentic AI workflows.
Yeah, and one thing they don't actually articulate that well in this article, but one thing that stood out for me is they are going at their software debt, and they're converting it from the old architectures to the new architectures. So part of the platform is the automatic conversion from one to the other, and that I think makes a lot of sense, especially if there is a platform that can do that. I think this is great. So what do you think, Ankash?
Luda, I was between important and optional for this one. I think this is a step in the right direction because we have been seeing a lot of these vibe coding agents, right? But their functionality in terms of enterprise domains have been limited because of these integration issues, right? So I think from that perspective, it is important to have a platform which can do that for enterprises. But since it's just focused on the IBM environment, I was optional for that reason, but important on the direction that they are taking here.
Yeah, and I like what Chris you said, that in 2026 will be more pronounced beyond IBM architectures. So I say let's go important on this one to indicate that this is the trend and certainly in the right direction, focusing on production. And there is another reference in the article saying that most developers actually focused on just securing not the code completion, but the ops of how to take what they've developed and put it with the security guidelines and all the needed pieces to get it into production. So that's an important trend. Okay, so maybe as Ankash is putting together the scorecard, Chris, do you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing and what's interesting things that are happening in your world?
Sure. So this year's been great. I was just at GAI World Conference by GAI Insights about a week ago, so that was great. Thank you for hosting that. Also, I've been to some Imagination in Action events. So I was just in Stanford and the Google campus about a month ago, and that was a great experience, really seeing what's going on in the generative AI world. What I'm doing today, I'm still running what is it called? It's called AI for Business and Life, and it is on Facebook. We have 300,000 members, and we are growing that community. We share all types of great stuff there. And then what I'm doing day to day is Quantum Proof. Quantum Proof we launched back in April, and it's a post-quantum encryption platform that we're utilizing some mathematics that we developed about 20 years ago, and using AI and some really smart team members, where we're building something that hopefully secures not only these AI agents, but all compute in the future. So you can check us out at quantumproofai.com. We have some really cool demos over there. We have we built a key hash generator that you can play with, and about 13 other demos, and learn about our mathematics. We hope to make a big splash coming into 2026.
Hey, good luck with the splash. Okay, well, thank you, Chris, for this summary. Really appreciate it. So for today, we have, let's see, one essential, two importance, and two optionals, correct, Ashish?
Three optional.
Three optionals. Okay, one important and three optionals. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate your comments, and we'll see you. And thank you, Nina, Ashish, Valda, for voting and giving us your impressions. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow.